Hello everybody, today I'm going to share with you something that I think is really cool. It's the first of its kind within my collection, in it being a retrofit item instead of a actual fixture. And I recently picked this up today for 25 cents. So, let's take a look at what it is. Indeed, it is an induction retrofit bulb. Now these don't really have a technical name like CFLs. It's a fluorescent bulb with a ballast, compact fluorescent light. But this is an induction compact light, I guess you could call it. Of course, it is a very similar idea to a standard fluorescent bulb. However, it does not have cathodes or electrodes at either end. Here, it is using induction to excite the gases within the tube and produce light, with the phosphors here, of course. But these bulbs are really cool. And like I said, I got this at the Restore today, brand new, for 25 cents. Couldn't pass it up for that. Really cool bulb. So, I started looking at it. There's not really an etch on it. There is this, LVD JX 23 watt. So I went online and looked it up, and LVD is a company that produces multiple different types of induction bulbs. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what JX stands for. However, I do know that it is 23 watts. And upon further inspection, I noticed this here stamped onto the bulb. We have what we just read off of the side down there. RZ, I don't really know what that stands for. 120 volt, and this particular bulb was made in 2012. Now, it could be 5th month and the day, or it could be day and month. I don't know exactly what their date code, how it was, and how they set it up, but it was obviously made in 2012. So, a very cool, very interesting bulb. Now again, there's nothing on here that tells you what color temperature it's going to be or anything like that. Now I would have assumed that this being orange, it probably was something, going to be warm white. But again, there's nothing on it telling you what color temperature it's going to be. So we'll get to that when we turn it on. But again, very cool bulb. Go ahead and take a look at the construction here, a little up close. You can see the wires going around the bulb there underneath the ring, of course. And you can see they didn't phosphor coat everything. This is probably where the tube was joined together in manufacturing, so we could get all this on there, is my guess. However, this ring could also probably be put on without needing to join the lamp around the metal ring. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I do believe that this ring is here to stop interference from the wires inside. Just like old computer cords, and it's sometimes on cords of today, you have those little interference things on either end of the cord. And I believe that's what this big metal piece is here. And of course the wires inside are what actually makes the induction happen with the bulb. That's my guess, but if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments below, or if you have a better explanation. So, anyway, let's go ahead and take a little comparison of the size of this thing. So here it is. Of course, you saw this CFL that I was using as an example earlier. It's pretty much the same size. This is a Fiat Electric 200 or 150 watt equivalent. Can't really remember, but it is 40 watts. And here is a standard 3-way incandescent bulb, which is the same size as a 200 or 175 watt standard incandescent bulb. And we also have just a standard run-of-the-mill 60 watt incandescent bulb as well. So we can try to get them together there, and you can see how much bigger this thing is. And it's also much heavier compared to this CFL. Now I do believe with this being 23 watts, it probably is equivalent to a 150 or 200 watt CFL. Just guessing by the brightness of what it is. But it's also pretty comparable size, not that that matters. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move these bulbs out of the way. And let's go ahead and put this thing in the socket here, and we'll try it out. I noticed that it doesn't screw in all the way, and I do believe that's just because of the base that they used on this bulb here in particular. So, let me go ahead and turn off our lights and let's give it a whirl. Very cool. Now, obviously, as you can tell, this thing is daylight, or about 5,000 Kelvin, K. And one thing that you will notice here is that it looks kind of green. Well, it does, doesn't it? And you'll notice that with it lighting up certain things as well, it almost has a mercury vapor feel to it, now that I think about it. It has that green that kind of shows up on camera. Really cool. And it definitely is bright. I'd say maybe a 150 watt incandescent bulb. Definitely equal to or maybe a little less bright than this giant CFL here. But a very cool and unique bulb. And you can see the orange part down here lighting up, and that is because I believe this top assembly is a whole different thing than the ballasting assembly here, so they can piece it together while manufacturing. But a very, very cool bulb. And of course it is getting warm here, and that's from the induction going on, I do believe. Because the ballast itself isn't warm, so it definitely has to be either the excited mercury and the bulb itself, or just the induction taking place. You know, I don't know exactly, but that is my guess. Yeah, it is definitely getting warm. But anyway, a very, very cool bulb. And being induction, you can turn it off and turn it on, and it's instantly bright. You're not waiting for this thing to warm up like you would with a standard CFL. So let's see what it looks like underneath some things. So I got the iBook here. It's still sitting here for a while. I have that. Well, let's get some colors. I actually have all these LED bulbs still sitting around here. So I'll set those down so you can get an idea of what the different colors are of this bulb. Of course, all depends on how my camera is set up to show these colors, but you get a good idea. It's a pretty full spectrum light, and it looks really nice. So anyway, a very, very cool addition to my collection. I never thought I'd get one of these things, but now I have one. Anyway, I really, really do hope you enjoyed this video of this LVD 23 watt 5000 Kelvin induction light bulb. Also, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.